Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Night. Miss Tony feeling better?
Yes, ma'am. Much better.
That's good.
Yeah.
Everybody got their results?
I got mine.
And one student asked for to be able to review the paper, but when it's midterm and finals, the paper is never given back to the class. I gave y'all the quiz, but because y'all were gonna have midterm and finals, and when I mark the finals, I have a second person who second checks the final too. They cross mark. So if I miss something, you pick it up. Well, I gave you an answer that was wrong and it was correct, they will pick it up. But I've never had issues with that before. So yeah. But midterm and finals paper is not given back. And that's why they say midterm and finals should be done at the institute. Anybody y'all had a chance to look at chapter 7? Hello?
I glanced over.
Well, I guess all of y'all come to read tonight because I'm not reading. You know how boring it is because nobody is read, so we can't even discuss nothing but the chapters because y'all don't read. Y'all don't read. It's not my part to read for y'all. It's y'all reading, and we come to class and just discuss. And this chapter is talking about competition, which everybody should be. You may not be able to relate to everything that's in the book, but you should be able to relate to what competition is all about. So if I ask any of you, what is competition, especially in the banking field today, we know that competition is there. All the financial institutions um, is competing. You know that much. But everybody didn't say if they got their results. And I sent them all. And I don't think I missed anybody. We did a graveyard today. Nobody talking. Hello? Walk on here.
Yeah, I'm here.
Only you.
Good evening.
Hi. Did you have a chance to read, Miss Augustine?
Yes, I looked over it.
Mona?
Hi. I briefly
Hi.
looked over it. It was my birthday weekend, so I really didn't
Hello?
read.
Uh,
I really didn't.
hello? Oh, oh, okay. I should have known it was
Yeah,
your birthday weekend. I could have give you all a quiz. Hello?
Uh,
Anyway, we'll wait a couple minutes for the others. Give them another 10 minutes. See who else will join.
okay.
So, so you'll have a little chance to look at chapter 7.
Okay.
Okay, good afternoon again. Mr. Pickstock, did you get your results?
Good afternoon. Yes, ma'am, I received it.
Okay. Have you had a chance to look at chapter 7?
I I looked at it. To be honest, I looked at it. Did I understand what I read? Not really, but I did look at it.
Well, as we know, chapter 7 is actually talking about competition in retail banking. And each of you can relate, especially those in banking and credit union, you can relate to competition in the different banks. As we know, that is the name of the game in the Bahamas now. Everybody is competing for the same clients. So if I have a customer at, say, a credit union, and they're not happy with the credit union, and I'm at Bank of the Bahamas, I'm able to get them to come to Bank of the Bahamas because the credit union may say to them, well, you can only qualify for this amount and you're at your max, when they can go at BOB and BOB say, okay, we can top it up a little bit more. So what are they going to do? They're going to leave the credit union and go to BOB. And that is all around the world, that things that happen, not even only in banking, in other areas. People are looking for where they can get value for their money. So even in the investment companies, like we have a CFAL, we have a Royal Fidelity, we have a Leno. Those, even like we have Family Guardian, Kalina, all of those are in competing for different customers, sometimes the same customer. So, like I say, if I have an investment account at Royal Fidelity and I'm somebody from CFAL says to me, okay, what are you getting there? And I say to them, well, I'm getting 4.3% on my mutual funds. Or they'll say to me, okay, I can purchase some mutual funds for you and give you 4.6%. So what am I going to do? I'm going to weigh the pros and the cons, and I'm going to look at it and I say, hey, how much more interest will I get? How much more money will be added dividend? How much more money will be added to my account? So we all in it to make profit. Even though we may be a customer, we still want to make profit for our money, because as we know, the banks use our money to invest. So we want to make profit on our money. So the introduction is talking about how regulations in different territories, and talking about the environment within which retail banking operates. It operates in the UK. It's like a national level, at a national level. In the US, it's states-based banks are more common. In Germany, the market is structured by regions and bank types, with regional cooperative banks having the biggest market share in consumer and retail sector. In the Bahamas, Mr. Pickstock, who do you think has the market share in in the banking sector?
I'm not really knowledgeable of it. But
Mhm.
what do you mean by market share?
Okay, say like a Commonwealth bank, like a commercial bank, savings bank, credit union,
Oh, okay.
insurance companies, stuff like that. Who you think has the bigger portfolio then? Like, is it the commercial banks? Is it the investment banks? Is it the mortgage banks, mortgage and savings bank? Who do you think dominates the market?
I believe the commercial bank dominates the market a bit more to me.
And when you say that, what type of loans that the commercial bank would give that a lot are like regular savings and loans and mortgage banks? What type of loans would the commercial bank give that those banks won't give? Like say a Finco or say a Fidelity
Okay.
compared to a First Caribbean or a Royal Bank.
Well, well, to my knowledge, you know,
Mm-hmm,
I guess it depends on what they offer.
mm-hmm,
Well, let's be okay. Let's be more idealistic. I would
mm-hmm.
say the Bank of the Bahamas offers lower mortgage rates, lower consumer loan rates. I think the rates will play a role in it.
Um,
So
mhm.
if I answer the question correctly, I'm not sure.
When okay, with the commercial banks, what type of loan commercial bank usually give to the in the Bahamas? What type of loans do they usually give? Or Royal
Um,
Bank or Scotia Bank? What type of loans
Consumer
did
they give
they give?
consumer personal auto. They give
They
vacation.
also give another type of loan. What other
mortgage.
type of loans did they give? When you see these big projects going up, don't you see a sign said First Caribbean, like a airport project or like a
Oh,
big
commercial
building,
loan.
right? So they're the ones who a Fidelity or a Finco won't be venturing in that market, but a First Caribbean does, a Royal Bank does, and a Scotia Bank. You'll see sometimes in the front of the sign in the project, you'll see financing provided by or by a First Caribbean. So they
Well,
give, that's what I'm talking about. They give commercial bank, give those type of loans, which are Finco or Fidelity won't be giving.
I
Hmm.
okay. Okay, so I know there's a lending place, right? I think
Hmm.
this might be in comparison, so I can get a better understanding of this.
Hmm.
There's a lending place not too far from, well, directly downstairs from my church. Um,
Hmm.
they give loans, but
Hmm.
it is provided by Sunshine Finances. That's that kind of a thing there.
That's part of it, but First Caribbean would give a loan. You hear sometimes persons complain and say, "Oh, how we could be the person investing in our country and we lending them the money." That's what happens. We'd have like the commercial banks backing it, lending them the money to build a building or to purchase something in our country. And so people get
Oh, okay.
really adamant about it because they be like, how come we lending them? They come to invest. Why is it that we financing stuff for them? But a First Caribbean or Royal Bank or Scotia Bank will do that. They will do that big project. They will go and venture out there and do that. Unlike the other banks, they really do the consumer, the mortgage, the credit cards, and stuff like that. But commercial banks
Maybe
really
I'll be
go
getting that kind of
ahead.
money. So
Why you say POB get that kind of money? Because they had that kind of money to give people all them big mortgages. You know how much
true.
mortgages they give to a lot of politicians and stuff. How could somebody owe $3 million, give a $3 million loan? You tell me they don't have no money? They had money.
Well,
They
well,
loan
when you
those
compare
kind.
when you compare their income to
Uh-huh.
a Royal
A
Bank
First Caribbean.
or First Caribbean, that it ain't
Agreed.
really.
Agreed. Because remember now, Royal and First Caribbean is worldwide. And a Scotia, they worldwide. Yeah, but BOB. But I'm still saying, even though BOB is just here because they closed when they was in the US, they closed. But how is it that they were able to lend the type of money that the persons are speaking about now with their delinquent loans, their non-performing loans. You know how much money they talking about? Politician know it on them loans. How somebody could owe $32 million and all these? How can you have given that kind of loan? How? Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's the difference between the bigger banks. They talk about in Singapore, they said Singapore, the market is dominated by three large banks, two international overseas Chinese bank corporation. Then they have the United Overseas Bank. Then they have the former DBS Bank, formerly known as the Development Bank of Singapore. You know, like how we have the Bahamas Development Bank. They also have a Development Bank of Singapore. Traditional customers would bank locally, visiting their local branches to transact business, but the development of technology means that the geography is no longer such a limiting factor. And believe it or not, in Singapore, it's complemented. They have the post office savings bank. I would have not have believed that Singapore have a post office bank, but they do post office savings. Have any of you ever visited the post office savings bank that we have here? Have you ever opened an account with them at the post
I
office?
was never aware that we have those kind of things over here.
No,
Pardon
ma'am.
me?
I was
You
never
did,
aware that
I
we
man.
heard of you.
Yeah, you don't know. We have the post office savings bank that you could go and deposit your money and open one account. That's how
I
come
don't
people
even,
steal.
I don't go to the post office.
Mm,
That's how come. You don't forget the fraud of $600,000 fraud for the savings post office savings account. Yeah, I don't know whatever came of the case, but
So what
yeah,
what what is considered what? Okay, so what a government post office considered a post office saving bank? I don't know.
that's the government on the government post office. That's the post office saving. You right up when the post office used to be up on the hill. They have the bank. They still write in the book. They still do journals and like I guess too for most of the family islands, a lot of them were using the post office savings
Hmm.
bank.
I
And I
didn't
think
even know
this,
we had a bank. I know
I thought they only use it to send
yeah,
money, so I never knew
yeah,
they
because
have savings.
no.
the I at work the most we use that is when we get money orders to for
Mm-mm.
persons coming in the island to
I
pay their
remember
bills.
when I used to go up on East Hill, the little corner of the post office, little savings bank right over there, where you people go and put up their money. And a lot of people went. I know one person went to jail for fraud and taking money because with government they don't do no kind of due diligence, making sure everything in order. Everybody, oh, you come, you deposit, and if it's them old persons who ain't checking, or when the people write it in your book, you be like, okay, yeah, that's good. And then you go back later and find out that hey, ain't nothing there. And some of them don't even tell their children, so the children don't even know to go and check to the post office if the person died to say, oh, my mother had this account with the post office. Yeah. I think they use that a lot too in the family islands. Yeah.
So Michelle, anything in the post office?
I guess so. Yeah. But like I say, with competition, it's everywhere. Be it in we're talking banking, but being in any business, there's competition. In the liquor business, you find competition because you put out one brand, somebody else come up with something else. So it's always a competition on in the market. Competition is always there. Um, banks have competition straight through. And like I say, for me, I think more so than ever, customer service is very important to me. Um, before I move my money to say I'm moving it to get a better interest rate, I'm also looking at the way the bank treats me. I'm looking at the customer service. To me, customer service is very important. I went to a home center on Saturday and I was to the counter waiting. We put the stuff there waiting. The lady said, somebody said, she said she'll be right back. The lady was gone for 20 minutes. And then when she came back with such a bad attitude. But when a supervisor tell her, she's like, I just gone to the bathroom. I say, Miss, you've been gone to 20 minutes ago. She looked at me and I say, you all need to learn customer service. I'm the kind of person, I don't care where I am. If you ain't giving me good customer service, you will know because I can tell you about it. And so to me, customer service is very important. And until we as a people learn that, we will always have issues, even though when the I guess a lot of times they do it to the Bahamians, but the foreign people, when they come, they give them good customer service, some of them. But I guess when you go to a store, people feel, oh, I don't have to teach you. No, I'm the wrong person to not give me good customer service because I will report you. I don't care. I will. I'm spending my money, so I will report you. And I told our boss, I say, y'all need to teach her what customer service is all about. Not coming back from the bathroom and looking at me like, telling her, I just left. You didn't just leave, sweetie. You've been gone for 20 minutes. I was here shifting counter to counter because they say you coming right back. I was about to just move all the stuff next door. So no. And until we in the banking system, you're all in the banking and any business learn to deliver good customer service, competition don't matter. Because like I say, I would go leave my money in a place with paying me 0.5% interest of what I could get to another bank, which has terrible customer service. I'm not going to go there. I will stay to the bank where the bank and the representatives, the organization, they respect me. You know, customer service is top priority. Mona, you work. Do you deal with customers where you are?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you feel you give them good customer service?
I try my best to.
I know do Fidelity still have the complaint box?
Yes, ma'am. Most definitely.
Well, when I was working there, I wrote complaints, and people
For
used to
real.
get mad. People used to get mad. They used to be, "Ooh." When I used to come in the branch, they used to say, Andrea, please, Sasha. Why used to start it off so all the customers could have. I said, where's the customer service rep? Hey, why you over there talking and you see this line? I used to do that all the time. I
Mhm.
didn't, and they used to be like, Andrea, you work here? I said, yes, but I'm a customer here. Not because I work here. You see me? Everybody used to say, well, Andrea, why you in the back there getting served? I say, because I'm a customer. When you see me stand here, I'm a customer, so I don't need to go in the back there and say, help me when customers on the line. No, I stand on the line, and so I can carry on just like a customer if you ain't giving me good customer service. And that's what I do. And I still do it when I go into any branch, any bank. I tell you straight off, customer service. I went to Royal Bank and the young ladies come on the line. She said, oh, T, we're having issues with IT. So the system is down right now and we don't know when it's coming back up. I look at her, I say, did you check since I see you've been to a couple persons? Did you check before you come to me to make sure that the system's still down? She had attitude. Well, I was the wrong person for that attitude. But I work in the banking system for years. Customer service was priority. Nowadays, feel like y'all better be happy. I serve in y'all. That's our CSRs and customer service reps and personal bankers. That's how they are. They don't act like it's my pleasure to serve you. They don't act that way. But I don't mind where I go. You'll know who I am because I'm going to tell you. You give poor customer service. Your boss need to have a conversation with you or put you in the back of the wood. Yeah, and I do that. I'm sad if y'all don't do that when y'all go to places and y'all don't feel well. Hey, y'all getting the right kind of service. I do that. Do you think it's fair if you not getting customer service, the proper customer service, you shouldn't complain about it?
Well, if you want your entry good, you gotta complain. Like I
Some
tell
people
people to work.
don't.
If we was a front house, I say we would the bank would have to close us down because at the end of the day, y'all are too stink towards us people here. So it doesn't even matter. The
You
customer
see?
come here, customer carry on.
Thank you.
So I say at the end of the day, we better stay back house because I smell y'all out of from the parking lot, and so y'all stink. So y'all need to, we could be But I don't like getting treated bad. I don't like my supervisor treating me bad. I don't like being talked bad to because I don't talk bad to nobody. So if I be in customer service and thing, I give exceptional good service as a person, highly trained in customer service. So I know what customer service is. So I don't expect nobody else. And the problem is that a lot of people are working where they don't want to be. And so because they don't
Agree.
want to be there, the attitude they're mad, and then some people come to work with the problem and situation and thing. Like I say, I understand that people have problems and stuff, but then at the end of the day, my problem might be worse than yours. And you
Yeah.
won't see me come to your business time with a bunch of anger and madness. They come for customer service. And so
Yeah.
a lot of people need to be more trained in it.
I agree. And most banks still have this 101 when staff new orientation. What is it? You could have that 101, but if you're in a branch where the manager have a bad attitude or your supervisor have a bad attitude, it filters down. And so we could be in all the competition as much. Yes. And the whole game of the banking era now is competition. I need to get how much loans on the books. I need to get how. So it doesn't matter what type of service they give. It's just I need to get these loans on the book, and that's why I say when it comes to me, you ain't gonna get my money. So I am one customer less you'll get if you give in poor service because I'll take my money and just go. I'm gonna go where I get, even if my interest rate is less. I'm gonna go where I'm gonna get good customer service. And like I said, gone are the days when customer service means anything. When I was, mhm,
My 2 cents on the whole thing is customer service is important. Um, and I understand because I work where I have to, in the section I work in, I have to give customer service. But for me, I don't know about y'all, but for like the institution I work in, like the customers 90% of the time is come in and try you. Like they come in gateway tendency, like it's their problem, like it's our problem. They sat down and got this loan, and they have to come to gateway and pay for it. Like they will come, attitude stink, and you just have to sit there and suck it up.
but that's what it is. I used to when I used to work in a branch at another institution, I, the customer was always right. It was like I used to have to sit small and be like, okay, I will try to sort the problem out. And that's what they say. The customer is always right, even when they're not. And that's what happens because if you be rude to them, what is going to happen? Won't they report you?
Yeah, so we
Gotta
just
suck it up.
sit down and just,
Suck
yes,
it up.
ma'am, no, ma'am. Do you need me to call the manager? That's
Yeah.
that.
But that's what it's all about. And that's why I say you find that a lot of institution you find where the competition, they may make the money, but then you find out that a lot of times people start pulling their money from there, pulling their money, and they'll be like, the service is terrible and I'm not going to take this anymore. So I'm going to take my money someplace else. So that's why I say, and we see that happening even with loans. It don't have anything to do with maybe the service, but in competition, people go where they feel they get in value. So if I'm at Fidelity and I feel I want $10,000 more, and Fidelity say, you at your max, we're not going to give you any more. But I could go to a credit union and the credit union say, okay, how much you need, what you owe Fidelity. And they say, okay, we can do that for you. What they gonna do? They're gonna go to the credit union. And then when the credit union don't do what they want, they can go somewhere else. So that's just how competition is. That's the competition, that's the field. all banks in now, because it's no longer to say it's a banking thing. It's just competition. It's how much loans I can put on the book. Okay, we have a campaign going on. Okay, every month, loan officer, they don't call them loan officer anymore, but a personal banking officer got to put $400,000 on the book every month. How could you make that? So the competition, you are there beating the tariffs because you have to compete. And it's, like I say, it's around the world. It's just everybody's competing for the same customers, competing to outdo another bank, and competing to outdo another business. So it's just total competition, and it's just a cycle.
So, um, when I was in high school, I always wanted to be a loan officer for some reason, for some bad reason. I always wanted to be a loan officer. I want to be a loan officer so bad, but I never understood that the part of it was you had to solicit customers. So I'm like, I thought you just be in the bank and we would just come to you. That's what I
Oh,
thought.
okay.
Big stock, you funny.
I thought you said the bank and someone say, "Oh, Mr. Big Stuff over here for loan. I can help you out." I didn't know you had to go and solicit for loan thing. I just had to learn that.
Hold on. Loan officers have to go out and look for customers.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, tell her.
That's
Tell
very
how much you have to
powerful.
put. How much you have to put on the
Okay.
books every month.
Hold on, y'all have a
I
quota?
hold on,
Yes,
I
we
thought
do.
like
Oh wow!
I thought they only just sit up in the office all day and just watch people
Like
come sit down. Like saying
exactly,
about
I
yours.
thought,
Which
like
world that is? Because I want to join that world.
I thought
I
y'all just.
okay. When I went to the bank department a few times, my loan office was always in office. So I assumed that, you know, loan officer just be sitting down. Listen, because I wanted to be a loan officer from when I was in grade like 11. And I say I want to be a loan officer. You know what I'm saying? I thinking I just sit there every day, helping people get their money and all that kind of stuff. And I didn't know how to solicit customers. I miss the best don't chase after nobody for no money. If you say
You
no,
can
you say
still
no.
apply. Patrick Street have a position available. You can still apply. Come.
So
Dog eat your
how
lunch.
do y'all how do y'all get y'all customers? Like
You
how do
you
y'all
have
get
you have what it is. Competition. Trust me, the struggle is real. I'm telling you, the struggle is real.
And they have
All
to
they
go
gotta
after
do
the
is just
same customer.
drop your name by one government place and you straight. That's how I feel,
Yeah. You know how much other
Repeat that?
people drop their card there?
I know what he say.
They just
I
drop
didn't
your
get that
name.
fixed up.
But then
Drop your name right to one government place and you straight.
No, it ain't that easy. Sometimes I spend half of the day on the road. It ain't that easy.
oh, you have
Yours
to
go
go
on
on
the
the
road.
road.
Yours go on the road too. No,
Yes,
sister,
Gotta
you
go on
like
the
to
road
go.
too.
Yes.
To do what?
To solicit new business, business coming to you, you have to go and get it. You have targets to
Really?
meet.
And for all of these new criteria the bank have in terms of getting a loan, because like I say, I applied for my first loan last year. Never had a loan in my life, making enough money to pay the loan, and I get denied. So I trying to figure out.
Where do you work?
I work under Sunshine Holdings.
Government quasi? No, right?
No,
Yeah,
private.
that's Sunshine Holden.
Yeah, that's why.
That's
So
You have to wait for
hold on.
government, sweetie.
Okay.
Ooh.
I explained to my loan officer time after time. I say, Mom, I work for cash management. Please. Why can't I get this loan? Like it was hard for me to get a loan. It was really
yes.
hard. It was really hard. I had to go on before the throne of God to get that little $2,500 so I could promise. And you all think you gotta go solicit you for that kind of
That's what I'm
requirement?
saying. And
Mhm.
but like you soliciting, right? And how much people are gonna get qualified? Because it's still ain't up to
Exactly.
you. It's still ain't up to you.
But
Or you
then
can
again, I don't
qualify
know.
somebody to rent. What are you doing by
I
that?
think BOB and Commonwealth Bank are a bit more relaxing than Fidelity though.
Yeah.
Really?
With Fidelity, we
Really?
just cater to government and quasi-government mostly. The
It
private
was
sector, we have a
it
few. And if you're outside of our target market, we'll offer you a cash secured loan, which in most Bahamian people don't even have 1,000 in their saving account. So that ain't gonna never work for somebody average who don't understand cash secured.
Well, it was BOB that denied me.
Mm.
Well, B.O.B. approved me. I ain't know. I was he gone before the throne of God and stay a little bit longer. Cause
Yeah,
I,
child, he gone before the throne for true.
yeah,
Ooh,
cause
I ain't
I,
gonna. I say if I get denied, that means God. If I get denied, God say I need it.
Mm.
So I leave it just
But
like that.
the competition out there is just like, okay, say for instance you need insurance, and that's competition. How many insurance agents could drop their card to you and say, okay, call me, I could set you up in a good plan. Everybody have a good plan for you. And
Mm-hmm.
when
I
you then
don't
take the
know something
insurance
there.
with them, they even ain't checking for you no more. They even ain't come bring you one card, one diary, one pen,
I could tell you
nothing.
that.
Nothing.
The
So
only time, you gonna always have a contact me, Mr. Pixel, your policy too. Yeah, okay.
that's it. But they do not. That's why I say competition. It's like once they get the business, that's it. And like if y'all
Mm-hmm.
didn't know, every banks have you have to bring in a certain amount of money every quarter. I know some banks your name will be, and some banks is published every month. Who get this and who get that, and if you won't get this and you're in the red and what make you look. I tell
Fidelity.
them I could. I tell
Well,
them
I
I
got
could
Fidelity.
never be a loan officer.
to scratch
Never.
an officer like less than because I
You
can't do
better
that.
Yeah.
scratch that off.
No child.
I
Competition
can't.
is real. But not
Listen,
only
I
in the
that was
banks,
one.
you know.
That was one of my
Not
hopes and dreams too. But that scratch off my
oh,
list.
but not
my
only in the
super.
banks, you know, because like a cash and go, like a Omni Flash Cash. Those persons there be on the road and they have to solicit business too to bring somebody to lend them within $3,000. They have to go
What
out
the
there and see too, because with Omni Flash Cash or Cash and Go or these other little places, you go out there and you could go to a Kentucky as long as they could get government they could get deduction, they good. So they have Kentucky, they have Wendy's, they have McDonald's, they have the ICS, they have and then government too. So it's like as long as most those little companies, as long as they can get salary deduction, they will give you that little $2,000 or $3,000.
but now the bank's really contradicting itself now because now they told
Mm-hmm.
me that now they saying I need salary deduction. I get salary deduction. So why is it
Uh-huh.
now that I can't even qualify for $500? What's going on? Like
You're
why I can't
not
even
on their
qualify for $500?
target
I can't even
market.
qualify.
You're not
Right?
on their
When
target
she say
market.
I'm not on approved list, and I say you have approved listing, you got to be approved.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
listen, that's
yeah.
wow.
They have a just to yeah, because like most companies they do like a Omni Flash Cash. They would have that a cash and go. They have a they call it partner, people who they partner with. So okay, oh where you what? No, you're not on our list, approved listing. Just like if you're getting a mortgage and you have to get an appraisal done on a house, when you go to it's better to go to the bank and find out all this information first before you go ahead and just go get the appraisal done, because all banks have different persons on their approved appraisal list, just like with with lawyers. Not all banks use all the same lawyers, so you have to make sure that lawyer is also on their approved listing, because guess what, there would you know now we have a lot of situations where we have lawyers who did legal work on properties. You find that stuff in court, so bank come on use them again, because hey, y'all don't do y'all due diligence. Y'all don't make sure check the title of opinion is okay. Y'all ain't doing that to make sure property A is property A and it belongs to John, not Susie. So all banks have an approved listing. Just like I say, the smaller companies, they have um, companies that they partner with and they do salary deduction. So not everybody will they will say, okay, we can give you a loan. Yeah, you on our listing. Your company is on our listing. No, they won't. So competition and concentration. One of the biggest drivers of competition in any market is the number of firms operating in the market. And as we know, that's why we have a lot of firms, a lot of banks, like we had a Barclays Bank merge with First Caribbean or CIBC. And so banks, even with the offshore banks, you find a lot of them. You see, Deltec Bank just acquired. I don't know if it's fully finished, but I heard Deltec Bank acquired Ansbacher. So that's a whole different kettle of fish. Ansbacher was a big fish out there. So now Deltec Bank acquired them. So a lot of banks are just merging because the market is so small and the competition is there. So they're merging, you know. So that's what's happening. Yeah, they operating in the same market. In 2010, Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development founded that market concentration measures taken in the aftermath of 2008 global financial crisis. Anybody know about the global financial crisis in 2007, 2008?
I was 8 years old and the only crisis I know I know.
Whatever.
That's when with the U.S. market, housing, the market, it fell.
Yeah, and not only that, I told y'all the story before. Around the world, the crisis hit
Right.
around the world.
Well,
So
like, course,
yeah, it was around the world that the crisis hit, and this was the financial crisis, and it hit us too, because like when crisis hit and money getting lent out, and all you see is loans, just like when COVID happened. Like I say, if we look now, I mean, we're rebounding now, but how many people in us rebounding, how many people has lost their homes, how many people have lost their jobs, how many people have lost businesses? So the financial crisis is there, and now with this old Russia and Ukraine, nobody knows what's going to happen with this, you know because the gas prices as well. I put $20 gas in my car. It's like, what? That's all I give it? So the crisis are there.
yeah. Now
Try
this
put
I
five in
see
the
in
car. Try put five in the car. Drive off the gas station. You like turn right back on. Mm.
Because that even ain't a gallon.
Well,
Sorry.
I have a pastor and it took me almost $50 to fill my car today.
Oh, well, I can imagine. I have a note,
how much you
so
usually
I
flip it?
know what I can cost.
Well, to fill it, my pastor only used to take like 30, 35 the most.
Oh, not 50?
Yes, ma'am. You gotta fill it because out of fill you gotta walk.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
Listen to me,
And
Charles.
I see
When
China have
when the
another
car
lockdown
when the
again.
car need to be a fake kick
What
in, yeah.
happened?
The car
What happened to
gas
I
China?
see China having COVID lockdowns again.
Yeah,
So
I saw
the
They have
thing,
that.
a new
mm-hmm,
strain.
Oh my
mm-hmm,
God, not again?
They have a new
yep.
strain out. So they have 9 million people apparently as on lockdown due to the new
Oh,
strain.
Jesus.
So
Oh,
we out of the clear,
Mm.
but not just yet.
No,
yeah. Because who knows who coming from China here?
my point.
You know.
They come in
So
here because COVID
Thailand,
here. They
Thailand
said
is
it's
so
the safe
alive.
place to come.
yeah, but like I say, the crisis hit the whole world. It was around the world, and like I say now, with us, we could safely say that a lot of persons in the Bahamas went through some crisis after Dorian and this COVID, because a lot of persons has lost their house. A lot of persons are struggling. Every day, somebody will say to me that, or I'm not we break up, me and my husband, he won't pay the mortgage anymore. So the bank is looking for someone to purchase the house. And when they find someone, they told us that the person will have to come to look at it, and then we'll have to, once the person agrees to buy, we have to move. So that's somebody else losing their home. So it's kind of rough out there. And like I say, and businesses feel it, because if we remember when we had the change in the road on Blue Hill Road, how they had all that dig up. Remember how many business went out of business? How many companies went out of business because it's a one-way street now and the road was dig up. So, like I say, with anything, there crisis. And a lot of persons just lose everything they invested in trying to start up a little business. And when they had that road change, a lot of people couldn't manage it. Same thing with COVID. Same thing with um, Dorian. A lot of people in the island lost their business. So with COVID, a lot of persons also because of the lockdown and a lot of people couldn't stay open, so they couldn't make anything. So, like I say, in the era of competition, you have to be on top of your game. If you're not on top of your game, you're gonna lose. And like I say, with the banks now, it's like everybody's coming after you, and it's only so much people. How much government workers? And a lot of them max out. So everybody running behind the same government workers. So what happens? So if I sell you a better story, then I get the business. I get you to bring your business from a Commonwealth to a Fidelity. If someone else sell you a better story, they get you to take your business from Fidelity and take it to Scotia or Royal or Finco. So competition will always be here. Competition is even in the classrooms. Young children, everybody competes to be better, and that's what it's all about. We're competing to be better. My financials, when you look at my income compared to your net income most all companies, majority of them publish their annual financials or quarterly financials in the Guardian, the Tribune. So when you look at my net income compared to yours, then we see who really making it with the mortgage loan, consumer loan. So because they have all those stuff there, so you're able to see how much money they brought in 2020 compared to 2021, and then you see their net income for 2020, and then their net income to 2021. So that's how you could see how profitable a bank is when you look at their financials and look at their net income after they've paid all their expenses, what they actually end up with. Yeah. But like I say, competition is there. The dress shop of competition because I come in and I putting all my clothes on the outside and you cross the road putting yours out there and we competing. So in business is competition. You have to compete. Other than that, and like I say, when it comes to the banks, they have to compete. And you have to bring in that amount of, if you have to bring in 300,000, where you can find 300,000 a month? How? Mona, which y'all think I miss quote y'all think I miss now.
Mine is 210, Chanel is 300.
210 for when? A quarter?
No.
A month?
Yeah.
Huh. Oh Jesus. How
So
you find that?
that?
Try listen to me. I made 320 in December. January was rough. February was okay. But March, I know. Only God could be with me. So far,
And
I'm
what
gonna let you
happens
be,
when
so
y'all
I
don't
don't know.
make it?
You don't get paid. They can't terminate you for it. But if it's consecutive, meaning like it's 12 months. If you only met it, say 6, then I guess they'll pull you and have a conversation with you. I don't know. We'll see.
You don't get paid.
Yeah, you wouldn't get paid. 1, 2, if it's consistent, then have a conversation with you.
Hold on. What you mean you don't get paid? You mean you don't get paid because you don't bring in no business,
You
not
don't
your
get
actual salary,
right.
the
Sorry.
commission. Oh,
Yes, correct.
you don't get the commission.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, you only get commission? I but say, really,
No.
You get paid too, right?
it wasn't gonna be done.
Yeah, you get
No,
paid.
she gets paid, but you
You
won't get
wouldn't
any
get the
commission.
commission. Right. Sorry.
That's tough because that's tough trying to find people who are going loans right now.
All right then. BOB,
Well,
my supervisor called somebody at BOB, I think like 2 weeks ago. He made it clear we coming for y'all. So whatever y'all gotta do it because we coming. And it's no joke.
they taking
I
over
think
loans.
I
Well,
think
BOB
I think for the
can
month
bleach
of
all anyway,
January.
because they consumer loans.
Repeat that?
I think BOB have a good rate because I know somebody who has a loan with BOB and the rate is pretty good. I think their monthly payment is like one something, and I think they got about what 4,000 or something like that.
For how much? For what's the term?
I don't know all of that, but
So
I
it's
know it's like
basically the
about
term.
4,000.
Because I got a $2,500 loan and I paid $240 a month.
What's the
Yeah,
term?
I think it's like in a year.
Yeah. So it depends on how long it's for. The longer the term, the lower the payment.
yeah,
But then that's a lot of interest though when you calculate it. So
yeah.
it's a give and take. So for that
It is.
for only a year, you won't pay much interest back on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Child, good luck,
definitely.
Mona. I'll pray for you tonight.
Listen to me. You know how much times I want to type effective immediately? But we'll see.
Boy. But like I think it's such a stress when you have to it's just a stressful thing when you have to, because I remember when I worked at Fidelity, and I remember they wanted to put me in loans. When I came out of audit, it was like, okay, I either go, I'm gonna be second in charge at the branch, and I have to be in supervising so many people, plus I have to bring loans. I said, what? They say, not me. I was ready to say effective immediately too. And
And
then
that's the
another
thing.
job came along as in accounting, and my former boss, Thomas Hackett, say, okay,
That's the thing
and
with
I want
Fidelity.
you. And so I had to choose between the them. What I say, you think I going in the branch? Not
And that's the thing with Fidelity is so much on one person. It ain't like, okay, for example, the BOB, if you're a loan officer, you deal directly with loans.
right,
But with
right.
Fidelity, you stretch so thin, you got to deal with operations. If somebody calling,
Yep,
sick, you got to fill out there, you got to scan, you got
yep,
reports that's due every month, you got reports that's due every morning. It's a lot.
yep, yep.
So they'll
Yeah,
get her
You
nigga.
gotta you gotta solicit credit card, you gotta solicit fixed deposit, you
right.
gotta
All of
solicit
that,
ASU savings, you got merchant.
everything.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
And the
So
juggle the person,
I
right?
have a question. I have a question. What happens, right, when you have someone that has a default loan? Like, does it look bad on you as a loan officer?
You can, because at the end of the day, that's a relationship between the customer and the bank. I didn't see it coming, but it ended up happening. I mean, honestly, some managers come down on you like it's your fault, but it's
Yep.
not my fault. Things happen, life happens. And I've
Yeah.
seen it before, like managers do that. They come down on you like, you need to go find this money. You need to find out where this person is. How am I supposed to go find them? That's what collections for.
Yep. Hmm.
It happened to me when COVID first started. I brought on somebody from BAF, and hey, what you want me to do? It's clearly the loan was good when I brought it in because you sign off on it as the manager. But then again, don't come down on me like it's my fault. I wasn't the one who created Corona.
So
Listen.
so
Mm-mm.
so Fidelity hiring is like I do
I
that.
just tell you, I have a position for you, personal banking representative.
And you have something for me too?
Yeah,
I
I
Yeah,
want
want
to be
y'all
loan
know how to bring
officers.
them loans in.
You have
listen to
something
me
for me too, Mona?
right now
All
I
y'all
sweep
could
the
be loan
floor in the loan
officers.
pay this. I tired of it right now.
I have
Man,
a
give me
question for Mona.
something. I tired of
All
getting
y'all.
I
Mona,
tired of getting cussed out from these people every day.
All y'all
You
be
try to
loan
get
officers.
I tired of them people stinking nasty, disgusting with attitude and all that kind of stuff. I gotta come to work for that. So Mona, what's your email is? Let me send my resume.
But that's vehemence though.
Listen,
Um,
Mona, these
Yes.
customers is coming gateway, like you hold their hand to get this credit card. You hold their hand to get this further charge on this mortgage. You hold their hand to do all these things, and it's your problem.
That's the same thing with Fidelity too. So that's
Agree.
just vehement.
That is
But
wherever
it's
you
up,
go, you're gonna find that.
right, but it's up to you as I mean, some people honestly you'll explain it to them from the initial start of the relationship. You read the fine print to them. You tell them this is your monthly payment and this is the term. You'll explain everything to them. And a few months later, some kick up and they all over the place. You never explained this to me, and you never did. They have amnesia on
Mhm.
evidence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
And guess
that's
what?
everywhere.
This their line. Oh, my balance wasn't all of that.
Yes.
My balance wasn't all of that.
Mhm.
Y'all gotta call Scotia. My balance wasn't all of that.
Yeah. But
They
like I
never
say,
remember
in
balance.
anything is competition and roll and fixed dog, y'all want to go where y'all insure, because guess what? You have to make that quota, sweetie. And if you don't make that quota, like Mona say, what's gonna happen? I've seen persons who work there and they didn't do what they had to do, and you go home.
Hmm.
Yeah, you go
Um,
home because
They
like Mona
send
said,
you home.
you're always in the red.
Oh,
And so if you're
wow.
always in the red, that means you're not bringing any business into the company. And guess what? Your job description says you have to bring this amount. So what happened? You're not meeting the requirements. So you're not doing your job
Honestly,
properly.
you
So
learn
So
something
now I
new
realize.
every
Now I
day
realize.
because I honestly did not know loan officers have quotas.
yeah,
I honestly didn't know they have to go
all
look at the
banks,
loans.
all banks, all banks.
I'll be honest with you guys. It has now it transitioned from just loan officers having targets to even
Everybody.
on-call tellers having targets,
Yep.
which don't make no
And
sense.
CSRs have
Always
Yes.
did.
quotas
Yeah,
to
They
do
always did.
it
quotas
is
to do
no
what?
they just start getting quotas. Well,
No,
I
I
their
have a
know.
quota
quota.
is two merchants, two credit cards. So
So their quotas are like
pardon?
they can't control,
Gone.
like they can't go out and look for the clientele. I trying to wrap my
No.
head around that.
They'll do
um,
dials. They'll call, like, for example, if I know John Doe work to government, then I'll call him and offer them a merchant service or a credit
Yeah.
card. Or if I go on
Oh,
Facebook and I see somebody that's a nail tech, I could call them and offer them or inbox them and offer them a merchant terminal or whatever. But it's
Yeah.
a lot for them. I don't think it's fair to them because they then have to prove themselves to be worthy of being permanent.
Yeah.
And balancing that teller line and balancing at the end of the day, doing drafts and all of that, it's already a lot for them. So I don't even think it was fair of them giving them any target, even though it's two, but still.
I have two questions from Mona, please. Um, in the event that someone has a loan to Fidelity and
Mm-hmm.
they want to switch branches and come to you personally as a loan officer, would that count against your quota?
Unfortunately, yeah, switch
Nope.
branch.
Yo,
Nope.
that's savage. Okay,
Yeah.
one more,
Just
one
be the
more,
work. Come on, man.
one more question.
I hope you're in the cable beach.
I never said me. I was just hypothetically
Okay.
speaking.
Okay. Because I've been on the road last week and the people who had loans with us or who had loans with us, who still have it with us. Cable Beach.
What happened with cable?
Boy, I don't know what they do, how they treating the people, but it ain't nice.
Uh,
What?
what? Okay.
Yeah, so that's why I thought it was Cable Beach.
I was just hypothetically speaking. One more point. What's y'all incentives like when y'all actually meet them quotas? Because if they put in that high demand on y'all,
I
with
mean,
high
There's
demand
their
comes
good
great
stuff.
reward.
they treat us good, I must say. But then
Yeah.
again, yeah, what your incentive would be, it won't be the same thing as mine. But I know for the CSOs, I think that's what we call them. I think if they meet their quotas on the refinance, they get 150. If they meet their financial coaching, I think all of that stuff are 150 once you meet the target.
You got a week?
No, that's a month.
150, just $150.
$50?
Yeah, for each of their targets.
I thought I was
That's
getting money.
savage.
I thought I was rolling out there. Like we get
No,
Some people
they're not
do.
loan. They're not
the
loan
whole of
officers.
Fidelity ATM. We get hey, y'all the only get loan 150.
No,
That's a
they're
No,
not
sad
but
loan
some
shot.
officers.
people do.
They're customer service
Trust me.
officers.
Right. But some people do. Man, some of those people is roll out with
Yes.
this price, the next price,
Yes.
the other. They make it. They do.
That's how with
Those
my
persons who
in
sell.
December.
Mhm. Those people who sell, and then you always have some presentation, every quarter.
Yeah. What
And
is
then
it?
they go to dinner. They have all sorts of
Mm-hmm.
stuff. They have all
What?
sorts of
The
incentives.
million
Yeah, they have.
dollar
Mona,
round table.
I need to come on
Yeah.
the outside.
I ain't gonna
You,
lie. I
you could
can't
work
tell you
for that though.
exactly. I got 2.5 years experience,
You could work for that.
Anyhow, let's get into this competition. Okay, on page 7, competition and concentration. Mona, can you read for me, please? It's talking about different cases, just giving you some different examples.
Okay. These two competition and concentration. These two examples illustrate that legal collusion and price fixings are possible where a certain market condition exists. That is where a small number of large banks dominate the industry. The products of the banks are humongous,
Humongous.
humong, humongous. That is of that type, or depreciated only by
Differentiate.
branding. Banks have formal and informal mechanisms for sign, signaling prices or interest rates to each other. Case study 6.1 interchange fees
Well,
for plastic cards.
right,
You
because
want to say?
okay, for what is the? I think I asked you before the rates on y'all have black card too, right?
Yes, ma'am.
What is the rate on a black card, a platinum card? What is the different rates on those cards? Do you know?
I really cannot say because I don't believe in them, so I don't sell them. But if I'm being forced to,
But
then
how,
I'll
how, how
sell it.
much, how much, how much, how much do you a person getting a black card? Because that's for more the elites.
Right. I don't. Today, when I sent out the email, I think one of them has 16%, but I'm not sure. 16% covers for the black cards as well. So I really
So I know
cannot
they have
say.
the black. Some banks are. Well, I know Fidelity was when I was leaving, or just before I left. You all started to roll out the black card.
Yeah, and I
And
really
the
can't say
plat.
the interest on that. The
What
platinums
about the
too,
regular card?
16%.
Okay. What about Scotiabank, Miss Augustine? Do you know the rate Scotia charge on their credit cards?
No, ma'am, I'm not familiar with the rates.
Okay. Yeah. And Miss Swan with the Bahamas mortgage. Yeah. Okay. Mr. Ferguson, so y'all don't have competition at where you are at Mortgage Corp? How does y'all system work? How does that work when it comes to getting loans on the book? How does that work?
I think our reputation is self-explanatory. I don't see competition, but there is a case for how do I put this? Um, Professional bankers,
Hmm.
for some strange reason, choose to go with institutions like Scotia and CIBC. But the average person would come to Farmers Mortgage as their first choice. So that's how we
So
stay
they'll
afloat.
come to y'all. They'll just come to y'all.
Yeah.
No competition where y'all know
And there's no
y'all
real competition.
officers having to go out there and solicit business.
No, but that
Customers come. Mhm.
but we funny you say that because I heard someone said that say that they were going to BOB or something like that, telling the person that they coming. We have people coming for consumer loans to us. And so I do see officers and stuff like that going into these places and trying to solicit business.
Okay.
But that's not a practice of the Bahamas Mortgage Corporation.
Okay.
Not
Well,
this
like
time,
I
I guess.
say, and we know too with BOB, any new government employee has to open their account at BOB. It's no longer you go to a Fidelity, a Finco, or a Scotia. Once you employed, you get the job at government. The first place they sending you is to that BOB. You have to, and I think that's a smart move by telling all staff who join the government they have to go open their account at Bank of the Bahamas. They should have thought about that long time. That's a smart move. That when you join the government, you have to open your account at BOB. You have to. Go
But
ahead,
let's say if I
Mona.
join
Hmm.
BOP and want to switch over, I could do that.
If you join BOB and you, what happened?
Want to switch over?
What you mean switch over?
Like how they say they have to enter in as a POB client, right? Then I switch over to First Caribbean. I can't happen it. I don't even know.
I don't know, but I know, like I say, I know now persons who join government. If you're a defense force, a prison officer, a immigration, a custom, when you just join, you going to open an account at BOB because that's where your salary can be going. BOB, government. That's where your salary going. So I think they tap into the market now by doing that. And if BOB telling you all, they come in. So more than that's what you say they come in. Well,
Yes, the man
and
say coming fast.
and remember now, a lot of persons who worked at Commonwealth Bank, the big boss is there. He used to be the big. He was at Commonwealth Bank. So yeah, and Commonwealth Bank is a. They just get them loans. They boxes look so pretty because they be going after. Like I say, I never even knew, and like Mona said before, because Fidelity probably mostly go after the government employees, but a Commonwealth Bank, if you work at Wendy's, you work at Kentucky, you can get a loan because they can get salary deduction even if they leave you with $20. They get a salary deduction. So persons who work in those areas, they could get. I remember a student tell me, um, customers work at Wendy's or Kentucky, they could have gotten a loan for 40 grand. I said, when you give the person a loan for 40 grand, would you leave them without what they got to pay after you done take out all that money? She said some of them don't leave with nothing, you know.
And that's what
So
Commonwealth Bank is do.
mhm,
Commonwealth Bank is bring you out like clothes.
yeah,
And
And
you
then it's
left
come
with
to us
nothing.
crying.
but then it's
Yeah.
up to their payroll department to I guess sign off on that because like with where we work, our payroll department ain't gonna sign off on nothing that exceeds 60% of our salary.
But that recently got implemented.
Yeah.
Because back then they
Um,
never used to care. And then two
No, they
people
didn't.
know people be like, man, hey, sign off on this for me, and I can bring you back on $200.
Yeah.
That person probably is only carry home $50 a month, and you bringing me $200. Why not?
Yeah.
That's your problem
yeah,
at the
but
end of the day.
like when you get that money, it is feel like I sure it is feel good when you get that money or whatever. But after you then spend up all that money and thing and your paycheck coming through, like what you can use in case of emergencies and
You
child,
don't have anything.
no,
That's
You
what
can
I.
see
I
if you.
That's why they put so much stress on their kids.
Yeah.
nope.
I almost broke. I try now to loan I get from VOP, but I almost broke.
But that's only for a year though. Imagine some people who in these loans 5 and 6 years and topping up and making it longer and all of that. Mm-mm.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Mona.
Globally, there are only a few major card scheme providers to which many banks are affiliated. MasterCards and Visa being key examples. See Chapter 9. One of the ways in which bank profits from issuing cards are acquiring retailers or merchants who will accept these cards in the interchange fee. Is the interchange fee. The merchant bank pays the fee to the cardholders banks to compensate it for the risk and cost it occurs in processing the payment request. The merchant banks recoups the cost of charging recoups the cost by charging the merchant a fee based on the type and value of the transaction process. Thus, there are a hand, thus there are a handful
Handful.
of card schemes that have the opportunity to fix prices to influence them heavily in a way that would subvert open competition. The implication of this is that charges to merchants and thus prices for consumers are being kept artificially high and that MasterCards and Visas are competing unfairly. Competition authorities
Correct.
around the world look carefully at complaints and investigate any abuses of market position that they find. Case study
Like we know.
6.2. Pardon?
Hold on, Mona. Like we know, Fidelity now have MasterCard too, eh?
Master, you asking if they have Mastercards or Mastercards too?
No, they have MasterCards, right? Master and
Yeah,
Visa. Eh?
hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But like we know, the competition out there, and people like to use the plastic. So you'd find some persons, they have a plastic at Fidelity, they have a plastic at Commonwealth, they have a plastic at Scotia, they have a plastic at First Caribbean. So they have like 5 and 6 credit cards. And I don't think a lot of persons realize the interest rates on these cards. Because the interest rates on some people pay up to 18% on a credit card. And like I say, the banks, every time you look, you see a First Caribbean saying to you, for their advertisement where they're competing, they say switch your mortgage. Switch your mortgage and we will give you half on this, half administration fees, half of this, half of legal fees. You don't have to pay this. We give you a prepaid card. We give you this amount. So the competition is there. What would Mona, what does Fidelity give? When customers, they give them the consumer loans, what they give them a card to?
If your salary can handle it, or like I would have mentioned, if that's one of their targets, then they would sell it and you just bundle it with the loan.
And so every month the payment goes to pay for the credit card and pay for the loan.
Right. So it'd be one deduction. But some person does not understand a credit card, how it works. So they feel as if for the $1,000 card, the payment is $50 a month. So they feel as if they'll swipe that card for $100. And once that $50 go to that, that's that payment for the month. But then again, it is not sufficient because you have late fees because that card pending searching for that $100
And you
payment to
have
bring it back
finance
to the
finance
1,000.
charge. Yeah.
Right. So
And
they be like, oh, $50 going every month. So why is it that my card isn't up to date? Why is it where did the money go?
yeah.
They'll say, oh, fraud and all kind of stuff. But then, fraud, you swiping the card.
Yeah.
And then something once I didn't use $1,000, the bank will put another 1,000 on it. No, the bank won't.
Whoa.
Yeah, so like I said, it's all about explaining to the customer so that they can understand rather than just selling the product because you have a target to meet.
Yeah. Agreed. And that's the problem. The competition, but a lot of times we're not explaining because we just want to sell the service. We just need to meet our target. And a lot of officers do that. They just want to meet their target. So I like I said before, I may not need a checking account, but they tell you need to bring in this amount in deposit. So what you doing? You're selling me a checking account, which I don't need. When you should sell me a ASU savings or just a regular savings. So but because the bank pressures, companies pressures staff to have to sell. I think for me, I think that's so stressful. How was that for you, Mona?
Listen to me. I just tell you, up the last week, I was ready to type up effective immediately. It's a lot to juggle.
But then
And
that,
you
yeah, it
being
is.
put in
And
different
and like you say
directions.
before, yeah. Because then if you have to go in treasury or you have to go this way, you have to go in ATM, you have to do this. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I know. Yeah. Yeah. Then
And then you
there.
have $500 to meet. I asked them where they want me to dilute people from. And I get admin work to do. I tell them
500 what?
$500 a month.
Gee.
Where they want me to meet them, call all the people from.
Gee. Oh, they
So
some
do
hefty
y'all work
targets.
y'all work 9 to 3 or 9 to 5?
9 to
9
9.
to 9 to 5. The tellers work. Everyone work 9 to 5. It's just that the door closes at 3.
Mm.
They just work all the time because they gotta be finding them customers.
Listen, sometimes I be in there from 7:30. And sometimes I don't leave there but 6, 7.
I
Yeah.
feel bad for the people that have to call these customers. I really just feel bad.
Oh, listen.
I feel
Yeah.
bad for y'all because for how them customers, like where I work, for how them customers was coming there, this person calling me, and I know if they think money's grow on tree, listen to me. Them customers, Mm-mm.
Yeah.
When you look, they make memes, but yeah.
Like, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
saw a meme on Facebook say, "Boy, Fidelity Bank like be in your business. You swipe your card for $2 at the gas station to buy um condoms, and they calling you, but did you swipe your card by gas station?"
Oh, are they blocking your God?
Oh, and again, I said they blocking it, but true.
Yeah. All right, Mona. Continue.
Okay. As we saw in chapter 2, the rig of the London Interbank Offered Rate, LI LIBOR,
LIBOR. LIBOR.
LIBOR, was a scandal that sorry, let me put on my glasses. Let me stop playing cute. Hold on. Because this ain't gonna work. Okay, so as we saw in chapter 2, the rig of the London Interbank Offered Rate, LIBOR, was a scandal that enveloped UK and US banks when it was revealed in the aftermath of the 2007 and 2008 financial crisis. LIBOR is the rate of the interest. Huh? Hello? Uh,
No.
LIBOR is the rate of the interest administered daily via the Intercontinental Exchange ICE and used to benchmark loan interest rates and to lend to each other on the interbank market. A
Remember I
small
talked about that? Remember I told you all about the LIBOR rate where these two guys were hacking the rates and making persons who probably would have never qualified for a mortgage qualified because they had some scheme going on. They went to prison, but this was in the UK in London. They went to prison, but a lot of people lose their houses because say for instance you make 50,000, your spouse make another 50,000. So before the LIBOR rate was hacked and they fixed the rate, you would not have been able to qualify for a $600,000 mortgage. But because that happened, those persons were able to qualify for that $600,000 mortgage. So they felt blessed, they got the mortgage. And then when the scheme was uncovered, those same persons who invested so much in their homes and got the loan and was paying comfortably, probably a good $1,500 or a good $2,000, $3,000 a month because that's because the LIBOR rate was fixed. So when it was discovered, um, and the rates had the LIBOR rate was fixed to what it should have been, a lot of people lost their homes in the UK because they could not afford the payment.
okay,
And
so
that's what happened.
but that is unfair though, because if I come to
Yeah,
you as a
but
loan officer,
agreed.
I don't know
It
what's
was,
going on. So how could you?
yeah, but see the loan officer, if you go in mostly the commercial banks, you see them, will have that LIBOR stuff up there. Or if you go online, you'll see LIBOR is there. And so that rate, the rate of interest administered daily, that's a daily rate. So when those two guys who did that, man, they a lot of people lost. If y'all ever have a chance, go on the internet and look at that story regarding the LIBOR rate, how it was fixed in the 2007 2000, which created the financial crisis, and you'll see how many people, and listen to the stories they talk about it. Yeah, it was really, really sad. That's like coming to the Bahamas and saying our crime rate is distant when we look at something else because somebody hacked it and central bank didn't figure it out. And what happens? People qualify for loans, and at the end of the day, when it was actually uncovered, they find out that hey, it was wrong. And so a lot of people who probably would have qualified, they don't qualify anymore, and the loan payment is so high that they cannot afford to pay it. Yeah, so things like that, that's what happened.
Wow.
Mhm.
A small number of London banks quote a range of dealing rates to the ICE at a as a specified specified time each day. The ICE calculates an average rate based on the prede-
Pre-
predetermined
predetermined.
predetermined mechanism and publishes this as the LIBOR for that day. During the crisis, some London-based banks sought to rig the rate
Mm-hmm.
by colluding to quote
Mm-hmm.
enormous
Mm-hmm.
rates to the British Bankers Association, the BBA, responsible for administering the rate at that time, so that it was higher or lower than the real market rate. A higher rate allowed banks to charge more of LIBOR-linked loans, and the bank's payment of lower rates made them look more creditworthy than they really were.
Yeah.
Heavy, fine, heavy fines exceeding 2 billion have already been
That's it.
levied. These examples illustrate that illegal collusion and the price fixing are possible where certain market conditions exist. A small number of large banks dominate the industry. The products of the banks are humongous or defic- defici-
There you,
deficiented only
there
by
you go now.
branding, by the points, by the 6 points. Page number 7.
Okay. Um,
Banks can effectively keep new errands out of the industry or market. The products or services offered in the, it is an economic necessity
makes
good
sense.
that is a good for which consumers have a high demand for it. The market is the market is mature, in which event growth in market shares comes from consumers switching provider rather than from market growth, but not every ologopoli
Yeah.
oli, ologopoli
Ologophy. Mm-hmm.
gives gives rise to illegal collusion or the threat of investigation by competition authorities. Markets can exist under the above condition in a state of interdependence, as illustrated next.
Thanks, Mona. Mr. Ferguson, did you have an opportunity to read, browse, look at this chapter?
I did peruse it.
Are you able to talk about the scope of competition?
Yeah. Not too confidently. Not with too much
Okay.
confidence.
Okay. Well, read it for me then.
Okay. Scope of competition. To analyze the ways in which competition affects the markets in which retail banks operate, we can use the five forces model devised by Michael Porter of Harvard Business School, Porter 2008. Porter's model combines a number of microeconomics and strategic ideas, and its strength lies in its basis on observation and actual behavior. Figure 6.2 summarizes the basic model, which considers a market, not individual bank, and the five forces that can influence the type of competition faced by incumbent operators. At this point, we must recognize that retail banks operate within a number of different markets, each of which has different features and different competitors. Although these are detailed later in the book, it is necessary at this stage to focus on examples of markets such as consumer credit, payments, small or medium-sized enterprise, SME, accounts and lending and insurance.
Do insurance companies lend money to their customers?
Some do.
And when a customer is getting that money from the insurance company, what does that go
It
against?
goes against their
What do they,
policy on the balance already paid.
and do these customers have to pay this money back? And if they don't, what happens?
If they don't, then it's an offset against their balance. If they have $1,000 balance and they borrow $500, they start back again from the $500, adding up to that $1,000 again. But in
So,
most circumstances, they would just add, they would increase the payments until they regularize the amortization schedule.
so what happens if I choose to borrow against my policy? Like I have that kind of contract that I can borrow against my policy. What happens if I borrow? I have a policy in the amount of say 100,000, and I borrow 20,000, and I choose not to complete payment. What happens to my face value of my insurance?
Well, that's a good question. I don't I don't know what the stipulations are, but I think that they would I don't know. I never heard an instance where people don't pay back because it's your
No,
insurance.
agreed. Yeah, agreed. But some people don't. So what happens if
That's,
I die?
so they
They
decrease
take
the
it out.
value of your insurance.
Yeah, yeah,
They take out the value of insurance, yeah.
yeah. Because you won't finish paying, and you
Mhm.
broke. So what happens?
Right.
We need our money back. So you
There's
think
no
we can
longer
give you that extra
100,000.
20?
But
Yeah.
shouldn't there be something because it's insurance? Shouldn't there be something in the within the policy that states that that's a part of lending this money up?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But
there is
So,
people
there. You
like
just
we
don't take
know
the
people
chance to
don't
read
read
it.
the fine print, and they don't care.
Mhm.
yeah,
So a lot of times, just like a person getting a loan at the bank, they like Miss Rowell say, they be like, I don't owe all of that, and y'all ain't do this or y'all did that. Yeah, so that's how it is. And so people will always try to find a way, or you didn't tell me this, and like I say, you know us, we don't read the fine print. So it's not till wow they come that we realize that, whoa, that's what happened. Yeah. So that's the case because you could have a parent borrowing against an insurance that they took out for their son, and the son die, and then they go to the insurance company, and the insurance company say, well, this is what the face value is now, this is what we have for you, and they'd be like, oh, you remember you borrowed some money and you never paid it back, so this is what you get now. And so it happens. People, we have Alzheimer's, yeah, we forget. All right, Mr. Ferguson.
case study 6.3. Why are different banks' home mortgages rates so similar? Huh? Yeah, let me read this part specifically. Look on any price comparison website in the UK, and the similarity between home mortgage rates is striking. At the time of writing, Google compares listed the following rates for 5-year fixed term mortgages in England. Yorkshire
Gee,
Building Society, 1.93%.
shoot,
Hold on,
no.
because I was gonna ask you a question on this. What you're saying to me is that this mortgage is written at 1.93%.
Yeah.
No, this in like a stretch of revolving type of
Fixed
interest rate.
term?
This
No.
is a
See, it
fixed term.
says fixed term.
I got that, but anyway, okay.
Rate for
York,
5 years, fixed term.
I
Five
got
years
that.
now.
5 years. Okay, I got that. Ooh, Yorkshire Building Society 1.93%. Skipton Building Society 1.9. Cooperative
Hmm.
Bank 1.89. National Building Society 1.89. HSBC 1.84.
Now you remember HSBC was around, they was in Cayman, they was around the world. And remember HSBC, I know in Cayman they went out of business. They closed their office in Cayman. So something happened. I think it was some kind of scandal with HSBC. And they had a branch here too.
I guess not.
Um,
Oh, West
yeah,
London. Yeah.
yeah, they had a branch here and all those closed. I know some persons who were working there and the branch closed. They had some scandal. Yeah. They have that kind of 1.84.
1.84. Oh,
Yep.
okay. While this market in the UK fulfills all of the conditions listed, changes in rates are also of a similar size and in similar direction. Why? The rationale is that all mortgage lenders have the same basic cost to cover. rates paid to savers, for example, and so when saving rates change, the rates offered to borrowers also change to reflect the altered cost. In addition, each lender bases its rate not only on cost and perceived risk, but also on competitors' rates. Rate movements are therefore interdependent. interdependent. It may look like a collusion, but there is plenty of evidence to suggest that this is simply oligopoly. What?
Yeah. Hmm.
Oligopoly? Right. At work in the mortgage market.
So here, Mona, well, Fidelity don't give mortgage like that, right?
I mean, they do. What's the rate?
Yeah.
You don't know. I
What is
think
the
we're the
rate
highest 10%.
for a mortgage loan?
Yes.
That is to
So
discourage persons to come to get a mortgage aid.
I trying to figure out the lowest I've seen. I think it's 7.5. Then I saw one
Whoa.
for 8.25. I don't know if it's some type of collateral being held, why they get that rate, but that's the lowest I've seen. So I don't
They
sell them.
probably have cash aid.
I don't know. I sell them go CIBC because it's Fidelity in it.
What is CIBC's um mortgage
I
rate?
think I think 3.99, right?
Whoa.
I think BOB is lower.
BOB is lower.
Well, BOB
Okay,
could
so
be
I'll
lower
send
than
I think
3.99.
I think
I'll send it to
CIBC
BOB now
is
then.
7. I think
For
CIBC is
true?
7. Yeah, I think so. I could be wrong. Yeah.
Because I was understood at a 3.99, so I sent people there.
I could be
You sure
wrong.
it
I
was
mean,
when they
you
had
know,
a competition going on, like when they because I know I saw I don't remember the rate, but I know it's saying if you pay half of this, half of this, half of this, half they have everything like administration fees, legal fees, stuff like that. They say half, you pay half and they pay half. Yeah, but I always thought First Caribbean gave a lower rate. I know at one point in time
Honestly.
Scotia had a rate, a competitive rate, and they usually do when they having campaigns. They
Oh,
come into the market, they have campaigns, and so they say, oh, if you switch your mortgage, this is what you pay, and these are the benefits you would get. And so
but
a lot
honestly,
of banks. Mhm.
no, go ahead.
No, but a lot of banks do that now. You'll see them say switch, even BOB, switch,
Yeah.
and these are the things you'll get. They have a lot of incentive in it. If you switch, First Caribbean said we'll give you a $5,000 card. We'll give you pay half for your administration fees, half for your legal fees. You don't half your insurances. A whole lot of concessions they give you. Yeah.
by you saying that it's important that you go back to reading the fine print because
Yeah.
once when Scotia launched their campaign at 3.9%, we had
Right.
a bevy of customers come in and say, "Hey, give me my line papers like you're in the Scotia to see
Whoa.
to find out what's possible." Because
Uh-huh.
that was Scotia's campaign. And when they left, they realized that after a year or so, people started coming back, say, "Hey, can we come back?" It's like, no,
What?
we only offer mortgage the first time homeowners usually.
Whoa.
And the question was asked, why you want to come back now? They had a bunch of stuff in their fine prints in terms of you miss a payment.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, interest rate reverts back to the standard interest rate of
Whoa.
Scotia Bank. So if you miss like 2 payments, it go
Uh-huh.
back, it reverts back, and all of that.
So if
So
you got a rate of 3.9, but their regular rate is 7,
yeah,
and you miss 2 payments, it gone to 7.
yeah.
Ooh.
So
So your payment's gone up too.
yes, ma'am. So they had the principle of themselves. Like it was a gimmick just to get you in.
Oh. Yeah, but like because we don't read the fine prints, we get caught up in it, and that's what happens because we're not reading the fine prints. Oh my gracious. What? Oh, and so because y'all only give mortgages the first time, so y'all will not take a loan from another bank.
Not usually. But we're like me and you spoke. You asked me in a previous class. We expanded our scope now. We are looking at lending to in special circumstances. In those special circumstances, the first item is salary reduction. And I heard my MD say that salary reduction is the first thing.
Yeah, well, oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, well, I guess y'all young persons need to make sure read the fine prints. Other than that, like I say, with competition, people will they get you in the door, and that's the whole purpose is getting you in the door. So once you get there, they get you over. That's what happens. And in anything in competition, people just want to get you in the door. And once you get just like with jobs, people say, okay, we offer you this, we offer you that, and they'll say to you, anybody will tell you when you choose to leave one job to go to another, make sure get all the benefits that you want before you sign the paper. Once the paper signed and you have not asked and make sure in your contract all the benefits are in there that you want, you cannot get it after you're in that door or sign that contract because it's not gonna happen. And a lot of people don't do that. So they go in and they have a mortgage somewhere else, and before they say, okay, now I'm coming, under the circumstances that y'all will, my mortgage rate will be 2 point something, whatever this is what I want. So you have to make sure you ask for everything you want, make sure you sign on the dotted line and they sign on the dotted line. Yeah.
But they don't get too comfortable in their role. Meaning, they don't get too
Okay.
confident the fact that they ain't open no time soon to conceptualize the scheme.
Don't catch up with the best people.
You don't mind,
Hello?
you don't mind people being great at their work. The only problem is some people when they do it too long, they start coming up with somebody said it schemes.
Yeah.
They start learning the area so well, they learn all the loopholes,
Hi.
all the people's behavior, who's absent, who's present, what time everybody goes to lunch, what time they come back.
Hi. Okay, Mr. Ferguson. Okay. Ms. Thompson, can you pick up for me, please? The scope of competition. Hello.
Okay, no problem. I think he stopped at case study 6.3, right?
Where did it stop?
The scope of competition.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. Case study 6.3 or the whole thing. I think you already read half of this. Case study 6.3. Why are different banks home mortgages? Oh, you read that already.
It's just started the scope of competition,
Oh, from the beginning?
the
Okay.
bargaining power.
The bargaining power.
You read that, Mr.
I get it.
Remember.
I get it. Okay. The bargaining power of suppliers. The first of 5 forces that bargaining power of suppliers relate to the power that suppliers, that is lenders, depositors, and shareholders, have to influence the level of competition. The extent of this power will depend on the number of suppliers, the nature of the inputs that they offer, and the cost of the retail bank of switching to new ones. Since the lifeblood of a bank is liquidity, liability, managers need to work to ensure that no single source of funding is allowed to influence their bankers' decision too greatly. The sorry tale of Northern Rock's reliance on marketing fund to fuel its rapid market expansion in home mortgages is an example of supplier power. See Chapter 2. Supplier power may also be influenced by the threat of market entry by the supplier itself. An insurer, for example, could invest in starting its own bank rather than buying the bonds of existing competitors. This is exactly what happened in 1998 in the UK market when the egg arrived on the bank scene as a subsidiary of insurance company
Potential.
Prudential.
Potential.
Prudential. The bargaining power of buyers. Customers are an important ingredient in competition, and they can influence the retail bank if they have bargaining power. That is, if they are sufficiently concentrated or buying in sufficient volume that it has an it has an impact if they favor one competitor over another. The buyer, the better the information about rivals in the market, and the lower the cost of switching from one seller to another, the more ready a buyer can be to transfer their allegiance. Sorry. Individual customers have little bargaining power, however, and are often reluctant to switch to another bank because this could have negative impact on regular payments and on a credit score. In the UK, a guaranteed switch service came into operation in 2013 to try to alleviate these anxieties and allow customers more freedom of choice. Price comparison websites are another tool that gives some power to buyers because they provide more information about specific products and services than most customers can obtain on their own. Mobile phone applications that link all of the individual bank accounts with different providers in one place are also tools that give buyers more power. Threats from new entrants. Some financial services, some financial service markets are easier to enter as a result of the low capital requirements and lower skill needs, while others are protected because large firms dominate, meaning that existing banks have cost and branding advantages. Additional barriers can include the cost of regulation and of a high dependence on technology. Markets that are easy to enter are likely to become more competitive, while others can become monopolistic. Retail banking, retail banking markets, such as payment markets, can be threatened by new entrants. See Chapter 8 and 9, who specializes in one aspect of the business, as the next illustration demonstrates. Case study 6.4, Adam Bank. In the UK, in the historic northern city of Durham, a banking revolution is taking place. One of the UK's first ever branch-free, mobile-only banks. Shh. Sorry, mobile-only banks, Adam, has switched on its app. Early adapter customers have access to savings account with a current account promised in the near future.
Thanks, Ms.
Small,
Thompson. Thanks, Ms. Thompson. Um, most of you, have anybody actually read chapter 7? Anybody? Anybody? Not just perused it, but actually read.
I read it, but
Mhm.
um, I mean, a lot of the things you don't really pick up until there's discussion time. You
Yeah,
understand
but
what I
we
mean?
could only have discussion when everybody reads. And
So
that's why we keep coming right back to the same place every class. It's like, did you read? We all promised that we'd read. So when we come, like how Miss Thompson read, Mr. Ferguson read, Mona read, it's like we shouldn't have to do this. We should just be able to skim through it and be able to say, I read and this is my feedback on, it's like class becomes very boring and very repetitive when we continue not to read. What is y'all take on it?
no, I
See,
agree.
when we were discussing about Muna with customers for having they having to go out there and get loans, that's the same way we should be able to discuss each chapter by us, once we read, we're able to say, this is my take from, okay, from this section. This is my take from this section. Everybody has some input. Because like I say, when we were talking something, it related to competition, but it related to say, as a staff, I have to meet a target. Everybody was able to participate. Everybody was talking. And so I'm feeling that should be the same way when we have class. It's like every class I talk about it and I say, try to read. So yes, we all have our busy schedule. I do, you all do. But we all need to, we have a couple more chapters I really appreciate if we come to class more prepared. So, we don't have to be going through this reading like we in high school. It shouldn't happen. We should just be able, everybody, a class is a discussion where everybody has an input. So you may say something that I was not aware of. And so, I've been asking you for since we started the class. I guess one class we had a good, you know, discussion, but recently it's just been us reading and then me saying how I feel or asking y'all what y'all feel about it. And I don't think that's how it should be, and class is almost, we have a couple more weeks, and I really appreciate if, everybody try to read, even if you don't read the whole chapter, at least pick points and read. So at least when you come, you're able to have your discussion of what you feel and everybody else able to chime in. Miss
Miss
Roll,
Smith,
how do you feel about that?
I agree.
Everybody got their results back from the assignment. Some persons who did the quiz, and
no, ma'am.
the midterm. I
No,
sent
ma'am.
everybody their stuff back.
I have a look
Yes,
again.
ma'am.
But
Yeah.
Miss Smith, right? I
Yeah.
I get what you're saying, and I agree with you completely. The discussion that we had earlier in terms of targeting, we could all relate to that. So we could have a
Right.
whole discussion on that. But for
Right.
instance, like
Mm-hmm.
this discussion that when you were reading the part about the two gentlemen that fixed the rate,
Mm-hmm.
and even now, I mean, I can't really have an input about this because like a lot of this too, I mean, it's still, I mean, even though we bring it home to the Bahamas, a lot of this still really based like in the UK and, and I mean, I'm
But
just
we
saying
can
for
bring it
me, I
on to
don't
the
know.
Bahamas. Look at SME. We talk about credit cards. All of that is here.
Right.
We
And I
shouldn't
agree.
have to read about
Uh,
it because we
no,
have all of that here. So
I
some
agree.
stuff may be, yeah, I understand where you're coming from, but some stuff may be, but then you may come with a question and say, okay, Miss Smith, yeah, they're saying this, but how do we relate to this here? And that's what I'm saying. If
Okay.
you certain
Okay.
things you read, you're able to say, how can we relate to it here?
Okay.
How can
I
we
agree.
we, we talk about it here? you know
Okay.
and so I know somebody asked about getting back, if they could see the midterm paper exam. When it's midterm and finals, those exam papers never are given to the student. So, and final exam is course marked by another lecture. So when the final exam comes, it's course marked. Anybody have any feedback on their results?
For me, no.
Miss Thompson,
No, I
Christopher?
mean, you said
Mhm.
that you'd send them back. I was looking and I didn't see it, so I have to go back and look for mine.
I did. I sent to
Yeah,
everybody.
I know you did, but I didn't. I looked today and
I
I didn't
sent
see
it
it,
today.
so I put.
I sent it today.
So maybe I looked before you send it. So
Yeah.
I'll go back and look again.
Um, yeah, I sent it. Mr. Ferguson, any feedback?
It's okay, but I guess the objective is to aim even higher.
Pardon me?
What it was. Actually, I guess the objective is to aim higher than whatever the scores
Well,
were.
like I say, I'm still pondering whether I am going to give you all the whole book as the final exam. I'm still pondering it because I expected some better results. Because like I say, if I didn't give you all any review sheet, I'd be like, yeah. But I gave you all the review sheet, and some of y'all made me feel y'all was saying true, false, true, false, true, 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 false, false, false. I was like, okay, So
I have a
um,
question to that
mhm,
point.
mhm.
One of the questions, well, it was a few. I guess I love.
And
We don't
guess
have the
what?
sheet in front of us. We
Whatever
don't.
question that was missing, like I think two or three of them was missing. I give you the points. I didn't take the points. I gave you all
What
the points.
What about the one? I don't know if you realize I wrote in
Again, you got your points for
William.
those.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah. Okay.
yeah. And the ones
Mm.
that where I missed 18 and 20, I gave you
Yeah.
your points for that, or I missed 23 and 24, something like that.
Yes. Yes.
I gave you your points. I didn't take the points. I gave it because it was my error. So I gave you all the points. I didn't take the points.
Yep.
I gave you all the points.
It
But like
was
I
one of the
say,
questions. Go ahead.
mhm,
Hello.
go Mona.
One of the questions I had to write in the answer. I mean,
Yeah.
okay then, because I
Hmm.
wasn't sure, and I was like the naming there.
No.
Okay.
And sometimes it's intentional to see if you, because some
That's the
people,
exact problem the questioner is talking about just now.
Okay
yes,
then.
John roll.
Yeah,
That was intentional.
that's the
And
exact
guess
Okay.
what?
question as well. Yeah.
And
Okay.
Yeah,
guess
but
what? Would you believe that some people still pick A, B, or C or something else?
yeah,
Okay. And I was
none
like,
of the above
I
was not an option. So
no, but
I
I
wrote
looked
in,
at
I made my own options
right,
for some.
Yeah.
right.
Some.
But then
Yeah.
I looked at some persons, they still tick A or B or C. I was like, okay, yeah. But
Aiden.
like I say,
Yeah.
it's
Strawberry. Strawberry. Or in the bag.
yeah. But whatever questions I might have missed or didn't complete, I didn't take a point away. I gave you all the points. If I missed 24, I gave it to you all. If I missed whatever, I add the point in. I didn't take it out. I add the point in. I gave you all the points. Yeah. But like I say, I'm still pondering whether I'm going to give you all. When I look at it again, I will decide because I marked everybody's paper. And once I decide, if I decide that I'm not going to give you from 1 to 5, the final exam will be 1 to 12 or because if you look in the back of the book, you're going to see I talking about COVID, the new regime. And so I'll decide whether I'm going to add that in there or I have another chapter that I want to give you all. It talks about payment laws. I talk about payment system, but I have a chapter that I want to talk about payment laws. So I will scan that to you all, and that will be, if I choose not to give you all the chapter in the back that talks about COVID. Yeah, credit management, planning losses, and COVID checklists and stuff like that. If I choose not to give you all that, I will on customer service and advice provisions, everything talking about in the new norm now when it comes to how we're working through, how the banks are dealing with COVID, how they are reaching out to their customers, responding to COVID. Yeah. So if I choose not to give y'all on both, because in the back of the book, it also talks about COVID policy and document series, just totally dealing with the Bahamas. So if not, like I said, I will choose whether I will give that, talk about this with on the exam, or I will add payment laws to it. I talk about payment system, and so I want to add payment law to it that I gathered from another book. So I may add that to it and leave out probably responding to COVID. So everybody was pleased with their results? No, yes.
Miss Smith,
Yes.
the last email I got from you was February 14th.
Oh, Miss Thompson?
Yes, ma'am.
No, I sent you one today.
Maybe it gone
I
to my
sent.
work email.
Oh, if that's the one I had, then that's the one it would have gone to. Well, you could give me your email now, and I'll send
Okay.
it to you when class is over. What is it?
Lovely, Lovely.
Uh-huh.
Ringy,
Pardon?
RINGY.
RINGY.
At
Uh-huh.
hotmail.com.
Okay, so I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you.
Thank you.
I'll send it to you. Yeah. Okay, I'm not going to read any further. So I want you to finish reading, and please, I ask you to please, chapter 8, and please finish reading chapter 7, because you will see it on the exam. Chapter 8 talks about payment and payment system. Most of you would be familiar with checks, personal checks, debit cards, mobile phone payment, stuff like that. So the ACH, which most of you should know now, that's the new thing in the Bahamas, the ACH now, where things go through the same day. You write a check today, going through the day. You don't have no kiting to do. You have to write that check today, the check going through the day. So if you choose to say I kiting by saying, okay, I can get that money there, because before people used to do that. I'll kite and get the money there in the next 2 days because the check ain't going to reach. Nowadays, they upload 3 times a day or maybe 4. So banks just communicate with each other. So the checks are uploaded every day. Yeah. So I need y'all to finish reading chapter 7. And then look at chapter 8. Like I say, chapter 8 is totally dealing with payments, payment system, and I will scan to each of you payment laws, because I want you to know payment laws too. I talk about payment system, but I need you to know payment laws too. So I will send that to you by the weekend. That'll be another chapter added. So that'll be where I have 9. That'll be 9, and the other chapter will be 10. The other chapter deals with credit appraisal. So yeah, but y'all can finish reading chapter 7 and peruse chapter 8, payment and payment system. And like I said, most of you are familiar with cash, checks, debit cards, mobile banking, mobile phone banking, automated payment, standing orders, credit cards. So we should have a good class. ACH, which is the Bahamas Automated Clearinghouse. BASH, it went live in 2010. Any of you aware of BASH? ACH?
No.
I thought that got
Yes, ma'am.
implemented 2019 when COVID
What?
started. That's what I
Where?
thought. That's when I started using the term, and that's when I started doing ACH for customers. So I thought that started 2019.
No, that started from 10.
child praise.
2010, January 22nd.
Well, that's when I started using it, and that's when Fidelity introduced. Well, I guess that's when he introduced it to us. I don't know.
Mhm.
'Cause you know, I think when you
2019.
when you do right back. No, honestly, that's what I thought. If you didn't say that just now, I'd have been like, I'd tell you 2019 if that was a question.
No, man. I can see if I could give you all
No
some other
batch.
information.
I used to use batch, but I thought the ACH got implemented 2019.
Mhm. That was implemented from then.
Well, you learn
That's
something
but
every day.
yes, the guy who used to Brian Smith used to be. He was the one who started. Who was in charge at first. I don't know who's there now. I don't know if Miss Cooper is now in charge. I don't know because I know I saw they was looking for persons. Yeah, but ACH has been around, man. Yeah,
Mhm.
ACH been around.
Nothing new.
Anybody else know about ACH? EACH, Bosh?
Are they the same thing or there's a difference?
They're the same.
They're the same.
Oh, okay. I know about ACH. I didn't know it
Yeah,
as the Bash name.
yeah, because they
Uh-huh.
have like a certain number of banks that
Uh-huh.
that
Yeah.
are involved in it. You know.
You
Yeah.
know,
Well,
Miss Smith, you sure? I thought the batch took longer than the ACH. The ACH is direct same day,
No, ma'am.
and then batch is like about 2 or 3
mm-mm,
days. So what kind of foolishness
when
they was teaching me?
when 2 or 3 days. No way.
Wow.
You see, in central services, right? That's what
Right,
they deal with. That's what
right,
Krazia deals. That's what
right.
Krazia deals with. So you will see in the mornings by nine
Before,
thirty, like if I want something, like if I say I need you to send, I send in some money to Royal, I doing a transfer from my account to a Royal Bank customer. She said, okay, Andrea, make sure it in by before 10 o'clock when I
Yes.
upload the
So,
file.
yep.
Yeah. So yeah,
So she could
no,
get it the same day.
listen,
yeah. So they get it the same day.
trying what they taught me.
Oh, I thought it was 11 o'clock.
She
It
used
I
to
is
do.
a
thought
I said
11
morning
she was.
time.
because
It
when
is
I
a
did
morning.
Brenda
Yeah,
used to tell
she
me,
tell me make sure it's there before by 10 o'clock. So I don't know when
Okay.
she
well, it was
It
uploads
11
it.
may
o'clock for the
be 11 and
batch.
then she just said
Yeah,
10 just to make sure that you get the
that I have it
time.
there if I
Yeah.
want to see it at the
I,
customer account. Yeah.
but I ain't like how
So
at
who teach
school though. They told me ACH the same day
you
and
that?
batch was 2 to 3 days.
Yeah,
That's
No,
I know
it
crazy.
them to be
depends
the
on
same
when you
thing.
do whatever transaction.
Yeah, and
Right.
then some
Exactly.
banks like I could safely say like if my salary, like the
No, I
company
think
that I work,
the ACH doesn't go to
like the company that I work
man,
for,
y'all like in and out.
the company that I work for, if they pay me on the
Uh-huh.
28th, I won't get my money till 3 days later because it's certain banks takes longer. I don't know why, but that's what happened. Then, like when I do transfers for persons, like from my domestic transfers from my account to their account at RBC or Scotia, or Royal Bank, it automatically like I'll ask them if they got it. I purchased a car and the guy had an account at Royal Bank, and I said to him, I said, okay, I'll transfer the money from my account to yours because I have to have my paper trail. So when you get it, you let me know. And it was like, must see, an hour and a half later, he said he got it. So it's according to when it's uploaded.
Oh,
And
okay.
if you using the same bank too, if
Yeah,
it's going Scotia, RBC
yeah,
again.
yeah.
Yeah, I know
But
that's
mine was,
instant.
yeah, mine will come, it'll go right through. Yeah. Anyway, like I say, y'all please finish reading chapter 7. Mona, you free this weekend, so you can finish reading chapter 7, and I probably will send y'all an assignment for chapter 7. So please read it because y'all gonna get an assignment for chapter 7 because I only have one assignment for y'all. I will stick with my one quiz for y'all. We'll see. But please read chapter 7 because I'll send an assignment for chapter 7 for y'all. I won't give y'all a quiz. I'll send. Seeing now that because with these quiz and with midterm, everything is going, you have to go to BIS to do it. Don't know why, but they're saying you have to come there to do it. So I am going to give you an assignment instead of giving a quiz. So yeah. So I give you probably 2 more assignments. Yeah. But
Okay, so that
And if you
assignment should probably bring this chapter home then, as you go to find the
yes.
answers.
Yeah, because that's why I do it. So y'all could read. That's why I'm not gonna finish reading. But like I say, I hope y'all don't do all your other classes like this. How much classes y'all taking? Anybody taking another class?
Yes, ma'am, I'm taking 3.
You taking 3 class?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, what day is reading? Accounting A.
Yes, ma'am. And actually, I doing business calculations on Saturdays. I
What they
doing
maths like? They ain't
yeah.
reading.
A
No,
You doing
friend,
accounting?
accounting is reading too.
You doing accounting with Mr. Thingham too, eh? Or you doing accounting too
accounting 1.
with Mr. You and Chanel in the
Wilkinson,
same class, eh? Huh?
Mr. Wilkinson.
Mr.
You and
Wilkinson.
Chanel, Miss Burrows in the same class, eh?
Anyway,
Y'all already had your exam, eh?
yes.
How was it?
Yeah. Give me business calculations any day.
Yeah, that one much easier.
I think it's the lecture that
The
makes the
teacher too,
difference.
yeah.
Y'all
Because
believe
trust
Mr. Will
me,
anyway.
I feel like I'd
Anyhow,
be guessing with that accounts.
well, like I said, and like I say to somebody who reach out to me, it's just when you don't just go online, everything is there. They'll teach you step 1, step 2, step 3. Everything is there for you with the accounting process. Yeah.
That's how I think I pass my midterm. Because
Yeah.
after every class, I had to go on YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah. Go on YouTube. And that's what I told the person. Go on YouTube. And everything you would find it right there. They will start you with all the journal entries. Everything is there. Yeah.
Thank
So
God.
you do a sale, you do a purchase, you cash in, cash out. So yeah. I told them to just go on Google and they'll find everything there. So you'll be able to. Well, it's good you passed. Yeah.
By the skin of my
But
teeth.
ah,
By the skin of
well,
my teeth.
at least you did. Well, so it's so good that you're already doing one reading course. I
Yes.
prefer reading course any day than um the accounting and the maths and all of that. Yeah, I prefer reading courses any day. Yeah, because you get,
I prefer. I
especially if they
prefer.
give you exercise to do, you could always a lot of lectures give you have to do projects. I don't do that because I know you all have so much going on. So I try not to give projects, but some lectures give projects that you have to complete. So anyway, so I'll send out to y'all. It'll probably be by it won't be tomorrow because I have another class tomorrow. So it'll be by Wednesday. I'll send y'all assignment out for y'all to complete on chapter 7, like Miss Thompson say, where you'll actually read because you have to look for the answers. Alrighty?
Okay.
Alrighty. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Right.
Right.
Mr.
All
Ferguson,
right. Good
Yes,
night.
ma'am.
Mr. What his name is? Mr. Marshall, he works with you, right?
Yes, ma'am, he does.
And Miss Roberts, they're not here today. Y'all have them working hard, eh?
Listen.
Pardon
Yes.
me?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I will speak with both of them and find out
Yeah,
what
well, I
we've been
send
done.
them there. Well, just mention to them what I said, that chapter 7 will be an assignment that I'll send to them. Yeah,
I will
but I
relay
sent
the information.
yeah, I send their grades to them too. So
Yeah,
you could
but
mention that I sent it.
both of them experienced the whip today.
Pardon me?
Both of them experienced the whip today.
Oh, okay. Oops. All righty. All right.
All right.
Okay. Thank you.
Right.
Okay.